Superb stuff. McGarty outbreaks McMonagle there.
Yes, really hairy stuff into the hairpin. This is where it all happens. As they go up past the start and finish now, Murray still in the lead. Huge fight for second place. If Murray keeps his cool, maybe he can sneak away. But he's under fierce pressure.
The danger man is that man right behind him, and McMonagle. That is, in fact, McGarty there. Alan McGarty going down the inside. Now taking second place. So they're rather confusing, these two white Van Diemen's. And there is the Caliber-sponsored car in fourth place of Derek M. Daly. Always has to put in the M so as not to be confused with his very famous countryman, Derek Daly, who, of course, is now racing in the Indy Series over in America. So Finn Murray leads. In second place now, Alan McGarty. And watch this man McGarty. Certainly Finn Murray will be at the moment in his mirrors.
Yes, these two have had a race-long battle all this year, and there's nothing in it as a Gwyn. McGarty tries to outbrake on the outside. He's going to turn around the inside of Murray if he can, but Murray has seen it all before, doesn't let him up the inside, still maintains the lead as he goes up towards the start and finish.
And there's Murray in the Works Crossley. He's had 3 wins already this year, but McGarty has beaten him on the last number of occasions here at Kirkistown, and he certainly looks threatening at the moment. McMonagle, Brian McMonagle, who came up from Formula E, still right there, and we've seen Brian Edgar's tagging on, Michael Edgar, I should say, Brian Edgar's son, tagging on there in 5th place, so he's right in the battle too in the Mondial. So Finn Murray under the most enormous pressure at the moment as they come down for the second time into Budweiser. There, number 41 is Neil Cheshire, another young driver just at the back of the bunch there, who is in his first season of racing and getting faster by the hour. And that's the problem he has ahead of him. Just look at them all dodging over the straight. Maybe not quite the pace that we had, and we've got both the Van Diemen's ahead of the Crossley. I don't know what happened to Murray there.
Terrible mistake by Murray. Something disastrous must have happened. Perhaps he missed a shift into top gear and let the other 2 cars pass. Now he's really going to have to get his work cut out to get past these 2 other drivers, because this is not going to be an easy task.
So it's McGarty, McMonagle and Murray. And then behind him with Derek M. Daly and Murray trying to go round the outside. Can he possibly get away with that? No! I didn't think so. It was a brave effort, though.
Brave effort, but unfortunately there's no room, and he's coming under even more pressure. As you can see, the fighting up front has let everybody close up again. Cheshire and Edgar closing the gap to the leaders.
And we saw superb racing from the International Circus in the RAC Championship. We're seeing it pretty close again here, and there's the second bunch just behind that glorious 6 out the front. And there we see some of the Formula E cars, or the older Formula 4 cars, and in amongst that I noticed one of the Budweiser men. But there's Alan Murray once again on the outside. Surely can't go, Finn Murray I should say, on the outside, can't go right round. And he has! That is incredible. I really didn't expect him to get away with that.
Fantastic piece of driving. Kept the power on, ran the wide line right round the outside of everyone at the hairpin. Almost an impossible manoeuvre. Beautiful piece of driving by Murray. Now he's got to keep his head down and not let McGarty pass again, and really go for it to try and get a little gap. That was a super piece of driving.
And it just shows that the Crossley certainly handles very well round the hairpin there, because it was a big task to get past these 2 Van Diemen drivers who are both very skilled, particularly McGarty there in second place. Down again into the Budweiser complex, and that's the order, not much change. But we see that Derek M. Daly has dropped to the back of this bunch. He's had a problem. And the top 6 vying for positions, darting all over the place. Finn Murray's on the inside, but oh, once again, that was tremendous stuff there.
And in one quick manoeuvre, Finn virtually went to 3rd, but he's hung on to 2nd place. My goodness, after making such a fantastic effort the lap before, he must have had a little mental sleep there and allowed McGarty to slip through up the inside. And now he's got to do it all over again as they get on into Colonial 1.
Well, the huge crowds came to Kirkistown today to see Formula Ford, and they're seeing it at its very best. Alan McGarity, who's had an unfortunate time through lack of finance, really. There's been never any doubt about his ability, and we notice that Michael Edgar now has moved up into 4th place. Michael Edgar putting on a challenge, and Brian McMonigal can't afford to relax, and there we have, that's, I'm afraid, Stephen McWilliams, one of the Budweiser buddies, who's in the greatest competition that has ever happened for motorsport here in Northern Ireland. Well, it's not all leaders in Formula 4. This is a man who's just out enjoying himself. Robert Hughes, a novice in a rather ancient motor car, the PRS, which was, in fact, Derek Daly was involved in the management of that one time. And the leaders just having swallowed up the second of the Budweiser cars belonging to Stephen McWilliams, having been lapped, and we've already seen him having some sort of problem. And Finn Murray definitely seems to have about 2 car lengths now, and this is what he needs to consolidate. There's Neil Cheshire, 41. Cheshire kept very well in touch. Derek M. Daly, the last of that bunch. There's Stephen McWilliams. And Stephen McWilliams is going to be shortly lapped by his teammate in the Race to America team, so McWilliams obviously in some kind of bother. And it's interesting to see how well David Allen has held on to these top-line drivers.
And as they come out of the hairpin again, Murray was caught under braking. Again, he's going to have to do it all to get this little lead back, and Edgar is out having a look at McGarity as they go towards Deaders. He's too far back to make a serious challenge as they come down through Deaders into Colonia 1. In fact, McGarity now looks like he's going to have a real go at McGonigal.
Now, this is far from over. We're on 12 laps completed on this 20-lap race. And as you can see, it's been like this. We're down to 5 leaders now, or 5 in the bunch for the lead. We've dropped just a little bit Derek M. Daly. Neil Cheshire hanging on by the grit of his teeth there at the back of that one. But Finn Murray, who's probably done the majority of the leading, just can't shake off this pack behind him. And it's getting more dangerous and more dangerous as we get towards the closing laps. That's Hector Lester just recovering from a quick spin. And once again, the Van Diemen pack knows their little shark fin motor cars down into the Crosley's gearbox, lap after lap as they come down into the hairpin. And once again, Michael Edgar, look at him there in the yellow Mondial, is right there to take any advantage that may happen. And this time, McGarity really looks threatening. McMonigal looking for a gap down the inside. Edgar there in the yellow car. Then behind him, Neil Cheshire, having the race of his life here at Kirkistown. Cheshire, who had a major accident at Kirkistown at the beginning of the year, totally not his fault, start line incident, hurt his neck and was out for a couple of meetings, but is obviously totally recovered. He's a very tall, thin young gentleman, and he's obviously got a big future in this sport from today's performance. So the young lions coming up to attack the establishment, and there is the establishment in second place, Alan McGarity. This time he's on the outside. The car loaned by Van Diemen for the day. His own car, unfortunately, damaged last night in practice. And obviously, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. We've got a back marker in the way. Finn Murray going to get caught out by this. And that was close. But they've all got through.
As you go down into Colonia 1 again, McGarity snapping at Murray's heels. Is Murray going to leave a little gap for him to get up the inside? No, he closes the door. No way through there for McGarity. This bunch staying really tight together. Can they last out the remaining laps without somebody somewhere becoming a little bit too brave at the wrong time?
Up over the curbs like a great high-speed train. The wheels of the standard tires, the control tires that they have to all use, they're all on the same type of engines. They're all Ford, of course, originally based on the Cortina engine. And here goes the weaving to try and get that aerodynamic advantage as they go down the straight. And it's still this glorious train. And this time McGarity has him, and a nose cone going there at Finn Murray. And look at Cheshire trying at the outside. And a little bit of a reshuffle, but Murray may have the inside line again.
Yes, Murray with the right line, but has he got enough speed to keep out McGarity as they come towards Denners? No, McGarity's just got it, but Murray immediately reattacks. No, not going quickly enough. Down into Colonia 1. Now McGarity in front. Can Murray do anything about it? And oh, McMonigle making a huge effort under brakes to catch up. Clouds of smoke there. And as they come round, McGarity's consolidated his lead a little bit. Murray going with him. But the distances are so close, there's nothing in it.
And now Derek M. Daly has caught this bunch up again, so we're back to a 6-car train of absolutely thrilling stuff. And this is still any one of these 6 drivers' race. Murray getting a little bit sideways as he came out of the Budweiser complex that time, and now he's well lined up, but where is he going to find the gap? Surely not another round the outside move. Can he possibly get away with another one of those? He's going to try it. Remember, he was actually able to take the lead round the outside. No, he leads him a dummy, dodges through on the inside, and has the speed, I think, possibly this time to get away with it. And look at Edgar in the yellow car, and Neil Cheshire alongside him.
Neil Cheshire and Edgar having a wheel-to-wheel battle as the leaders go through. Deaders and McGarity just manages to stay in front. Murray is actually running slightly off the circuit there, and as he come under brakes, he's forced to pull back in behind McGarity, just cannot maintain his position. And now as they go through towards Fisherman's, Murray is still attacking and being attacked by McGarity and Edgar.
And it has to be said that up to now, and I stress now, this very second, it has been close and clean, which is a great credit to these drivers. Maybe not just quite the aggression that we saw in the international pack, but look at this. Superb stuff indeed. And still shadowing them in the background, David Allen in the Budweiser car. But here comes, once again, this sausage that almost seems to get out of control as it goes down the straight. And this time Murray is really darting across. Can he get across? He's very sideways on the outside of the hairpin. And once again, Alan McGarity now in the commanding position on the laps that count. They've 16 laps completed, 17 laps I should say, going on to their 18th of this 20-lap race, and it's an absolute cracker.
And Murray again attacking as they go down into Colonia 1. The only real way you can get past in these cars is under braking, and this is one of the corners you can do it in. He's really snapping at McGarity's heels. McGarity will be trying to think of a way that he can keep Murray behind him, not to leave a gap, not to leave any room at all for the Crosley driver to do one of his spectacular manoeuvres that we've seen already in this race.
And here we go down into the hairpin, and once again Murray on the attack. They're just coming up now to complete their 18th lap, and time is running out on this fabulous little dice. With the first 4 now have broken away a little bit. Neil Cheshire seems to have dropped back a little bit as he did earlier in the race, but anything can happen. Look at the Crosley, and around they go! Oh, and a high-speed one there by Alan McGarity. Really a nasty place to get a nudge. Arnie, your verdict on that one?
Yes, poor old McGarity unfortunately got a little tap as they went through Deaders. Spun him around. He's too far off to have any chance of getting back into this race. If Murray hasn't damaged his car, I think he'll probably be all right. I think, in fact, we may even have Finn Murray's car, I think possibly was damaged there, and he may not have even continued. We'll have to wait and see.
And just don't mind the back marker in front there. There's Brian McMonigle just going past him. Michael Edgar in second place. And that's the situation as they are on their last lap. Penultimate lap, I should say. McMonigle, Michael Edgar, and they have got this little advantage. We have missed Finn Murray. He must have been damaged in that tap. Neil Cheshire is up into third place. Finn Murray is, in fact, off in the grass just opposite us. And there's Neil Cheshire, and what a sensational result that's going to be. They're going past, once again, Stephen McWilliams, and McMonigle and Michael Edgar in with a real chance of taking his first victory.
It's all going to be down to this now. Can Edgar do anything about McMonigle? And he hasn't got the time to do it. No, he hasn't got the time.
So McMonigle wins it. Brian Edgar, I should say Michael Edgar in second place. Neil Cheshire a super third place. And what a dramatic end once more with Derek M. Daly coming in fourth. to yet another superb Formula Ford entertainment here at Kirkistown. And as we can see, this is the incident that caused it all in slow motion. McGarrity leads, and right in behind him, we have almost impossibly close behind him, we have Finn Murray. They touch, round goes McGarrity at the fastest point of the circuit, a very frightening moment. But watch Murray, he's also lost control. We don't see him getting totally buried in the grass, but it's the end of both of theirs magnificent race. Well, in amongst the meadow, there's the sad end to the Works Crosley Challenge. Finn Murray just behind the marshal there. You can hardly see the car at all, the 63F, just see the roll hoop on the top. And it must have been in the same incident, because not very far from him, just up the road, is in fact Alan McGarrity. And I would imagine that those two drivers possibly just don't want to talk to each other at the moment. So Brian McMonagle takes his first STP championship win. Michael Edgar a very close second. Neil Cheshire will be very happy with third place. Derek M. Daly fourth. That veteran Tommy Reed once again in the results in fifth place. And David Allen, the Race to America contestant, coming home sixth. So as the walking wounded return to the paddock, it's been a real Formula Ford festival here at Kirkistown. The two big winners, Pedro Chavez from Portugal and Brian McMonagle from Strabane, and racing that we will remember for many days to come.